One Vision by Queen. How awesome is this tune? I'm such a massive fan of Queen, and I think they're the band that I would have most wanted to see live, you know, that I'm never going to get a chance to now with Freddie Mercury. If any of you guys have seen Queen live in the past or seen We Will Rock You, let me know your stories in the comments. If you're a massive Queen fan, please suggest more Queen songs for me to teach. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you all the rhythm parts, including a couple of the licks. And the first chord in this song is a D power chord, played with the first and little finger, the first finger on string 5 on the D note. This is at 5th fret. So if you're unsure of where that is, just count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets. And we're in this space just behind the 5th fret here. Little finger is at 7th fret, a string down. And there should be a 1 fret gap, so it looks like this. Middle 2 fingers ain't playing anything, but keep them looking the same, you know, in a similar position to the other fingers. And let's give it a strum. So we just strum those 2 strings together to try and get one sound. And here's the tricky bit. We need to move this first finger down by 1 fret. So just slide it the other side of the fret there and strum it once. And then if we go back, there's our riff. Now this stretch can be too much for many people. First of all, this is why we're playing it with the little finger, so that we can slide here and to make this stretch possible. But also I've got this finger stretching exercise just here, which should really help many of you. And if you want to get a handle on a lot of the electric guitar specific techniques we're looking at here, my electric guitar starter course is absolutely the best place to start. And we got a whole electric guitar syllabus. The link's here and also in the description. Then all we have to do is play that same riff but 2 frets down. So slide down with me. 1, 2, and it's that same riff with the little finger at 5th fret, first finger at 2nd, and then 3rd. Middle 2 fingers still aren't down, but I've got my thumb really low so that again I can make this stretch. So in total, just making sure we get the notes right first of all. This is the opening riff. That's the start bit, okay? We play that last part again. And then we slide up to that original position, the wider fret one. And then that's our riff. So one more time. 2, 3, 4. Sliding down. Now that riff is different to how it is for the rest of the song. The opening riff, just played on its own in isolation, just played by Brian May, is different to the rest of them. The rest of them, for every other part of the song, will go like this. Okay, and then it's that one that would repeat. So let's focus mainly on that one, and then we'll look at some cool sliding down techniques and add some personality to this. But the bare bones of the main riff when it first kicks in is the D power chord, last time. If you need more times through this, just repeat back on YouTube and it'll play. You can watch it as many times as you like. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Now the last time there, you could hear I did what I call a drag down, and this is one of the coolest ways to add personality to your playing. If you're not doing this yet, please add this all the time. There's no time when these drag downs don't sound cool, especially when we're playing power chords. And the difference is, if we add a drag down, they add all the personality to this riff, and without them, the riff's almost unrecognizable. It just lacks all the swagger of it. So all we do is keep the same pressure down, sliding down, until we get our first finger to around first fret, and the little finger will be around third, and we need to have relaxed enough so that by the time we're there, our fingers are muting the strings. So we never hear a final note. We never get this. That's not what we need. We need all the sound here, but then just to relax here, the thumbs around the back of the neck, just here, and the fingers have just relaxed, and finish up muting all 6 strings. And we do the same thing anywhere that we have a good amount of space, so a space of a beat or 2 beats or so. So with the drag downs, 2, 3, 4. So mainly in those first 2 bars, the first half of the riff. The other thing that is very audible in this riff, and I want to make sure that you're doing just to finish up, are these little mutes. Hits of the strings with the right hand, where our left hand is muting and is relaxed on the strings. So just, if I press down to the fretboard, sounds really bad. But if I relax, we get this percussive hit. And that is everything in terms of giving this riff and most guitar riffs rhythm. So, without any hits, with the hits, it's very subtle, and in fact he gets a natural harmonic somewhere, and I can't quite find it after that first one. You know, he gets a little note somewhere, and I can't quite figure out which note it is. But that's the bare bones of the main riff, and that repeats throughout every verse. As I say, that intro one's just a little bit different. Then we get on to the bridge. One flesh, one bone, one true religion. Okay, that is a flat first finger, barring just strings 2, 3, and 4. Now, getting string 2 to bar and to be held down, the same as the other strings, while also keeping the thinnest string ringing out, is tricky. But it's such a classic rock technique, and please try doing it by kinking out this knuckle of your finger, or this just a joint in your finger, really. That's the knuckle. So the knuckle is kind of, we've got this right angle in our finger where we're kind of doing this, and if you've got your finger bending like that, that's wrong. We need to just try and, let me show you, that way. That's what we're looking for. And that's how you can keep all 5 strings of that A chord like this ringing out. So really good, real classic rock technique, as is this next chord, which is where we have the middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and the 3rd finger, 4th fret, 4th string. That. So flat first finger, middle finger, and 3rd finger. These 2 are right on their tips. First finger's flat, but 2nd and 3rd finger are right on their tips, okay? And this thumb comes over the top to put the fingers on an angle to make it much easier to make this stretch, but also to mute string 6. So we can just be powering that right hand. Okay? So just strumming 8ths, but emphasizing the and of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. That's where it's hitting. 2, 3, 4, and. 2, 3, 4, and. 2, 3, 4, and. Briefly hitting 2nd fret on the A string, which is a B note, and then hitting a C power chord, which in this situation I would choose to play like this, so we can play the next chord where we're going to kick that little finger down and go like this. So C power chord. This is for the whoa, 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 vision. So recap. 2, 3, 4. One flesh, one bone, one true religion. One voice, one hope, one real decision. Whoa, 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 vision. And then, love this bit, just it adds everything to the riff. We have a increasing note or an ascending note from the open A string 1 fret at a time. Open string 5, first, second, third, fourth, and then we're back to the riff again. Whoa, 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 vision. Open 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No wrong. Okay, and then we're back into the riff. When we go back into the riff there, it's a slight variation which I demoed at the start of this video. No wrong, no right. I'm gonna tell you there's no black in. That is little finger, 6th fret of string 2. 3rd finger directly above it, but on string 5, on fret 5. And we just hit 1, 2, 3, just those 2 strings, and then a full D bar chord preferably, which Brian would play like this, but my little finger, I've never quite got on with that method, so they all ring out a little bit better when I play it like this personally, but Brian would do that, and then we're straight into the normal riff. Another little lick added later on in the riff goes like this. That is, you could play it with your middle 2 fingers, but the notes are 8th fret and 7th fret, and then slide it down 2 frets. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd probably recommend the middle 2 fingers there, but it's personal preference. They're the notes. It's actually played with an overdub, that section, as is so much of this. So many times there are different guitars come in, you can hear it really clearly on headphones. Please check out, there's a Queen in the studio, which I first watched. I mean, this whole song takes me right back to when I was 14, 15, 16, playing in my first school band and practicing around at a friend's house with real drums and stuff. And my friend had a Queen in the studio where they're making and recording and writing still this song, and it's on YouTube. I'll link to it down in the description, but Queen in the studio, it's amazing. And that's all sections of this song, all the rhythm sections. There's a couple of breaks in it, a time where there's lots of drums and barely any guitars. Most of that is on an A chord, and Brian May is improvising in the key of A. I will be doing the main solo to this in a separate video, but if you want to get started with rock lead guitar in this kind of style, then check out my lead guitar course. I'll link to it on the screen now. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Remember to leave your Queen stories and any memories you have of watching them live in the comments below, and I will see you in another video. Thank you very much for watching.